Hey guys, Waterfowler41 here, and in today's video we have a Nissan Altima. So this is a 2021 Nissan Altima, and this car is actually replacing my wife's Hyundai Palisade. So she got a new job, which means she gets the company car, which means the Palisade, there was no more use, so we sold it to Vroom. But with getting this car and the fact that now my wife's got multiple phones for her new job, she had one request with this car. She wanted the same phone holder that I have in my Ram. So that phone holder is the ProClip bracket system. So kind of a two-part system here, and we're going to be installing it in our car. Perfect for this car because A, we don't own it, and this requires no screws, nothing, no drilling into the dash or anything like this. Just basically clips into existing seams, and then you got a phone holder right where you need it, really accessible, and we'll see that in a second. But two parts here. First part is the actual bracket. So this bracket is custom bent, custom made for the Altima, and it'll clip into, like I said, existing seams on the dash. It'll put that bracket right where you need it in terms of eyesight, and then a phone holder, and the phone holder itself attaches right to the bracket inside these. There's 6 existing screws, so you have some kind of freedom as far as where you want to mount it. So what we'll do first here is mount this guy inside the Altima, and then we'll go ahead and screw this right on there, and I'll show you how the whole phone holder works. But again, this is very similar to the mount that I have in my Rebel. It just clips onto the side of the dash, gives you a nice mounting spot. You could use it for phones, you could use it for gauges. It really gives you a nice flat surface to drill into, so you're not drilling into your dash, and it gives it a nice near OEM look to it. Obviously it's not OEM because it's another part inside the dash of your car, but it clips in. It's not going to leave any sort of scratches. Been using these things for ages. I absolutely trust that these are going to look great, they're going to work great, and they're going to stay looking great in the Nissan Altima. So let's get everything opened up, hop inside the car, and I will show you how easy it is to install this guy. It literally just clips right into place. So let's do that. Alright, so we're inside the car here, and just to give you kind of an idea of where the bracket itself mounts, is it's going to clip onto right here on this really tight seam, and then it's going to clip on the back here, and then that'll put your phone right about here, which is perfect. So like I said, my wife has to carry 2 phones. She says the second phone's a work phone. I call it a burner. It's probably so she can call her boyfriend, but regardless, let's give her a nice area for her to put one of those phones here so she doesn't have 700 phones laying around the dash. So anyway, this is the bracket for the 2019 and newer Nissan Altimas. So basically it'll fit all the current body styles, and it'll, like I just said, clips right in here and right in there. Inside here you get the bracket itself, and then you get a little trim tool, and that trim tool is there to help you separate some of the seams so you can get the clip around there. But other than that, there's no screws, nothing, no tape, nothing that needs to be installed in order for this guy to be held in. So let's get this guy out of the wrapper, and then I'll show you how to install it. Alright, so we have the bracket out of the wrapper, so ultimately it's going to mount like that. Here's a side profile, so you see it's got a little bit of a lip on the top and a lip on the bottom there. That's so it could grab onto this seam here and the top seam there. Then within that kit you also get what they call the gap opener, and all you do with this guy is basically slip it in between the trim panels and then use that to open up the gap a little bit so you have enough room to slip the little edge in there. So this is something that's going to take two hands to do, so let me see if I can get my camera mounted up. But ultimately the way this guy will install, according to the instructions, is you're going to want to do the bottom corner first, get that bottom edge clipped in, and then with the gap opener open up the top so that this will then pop right into the top and just slides right into place. And then after that we will go ahead and install this guy. So this is the actual phone holder itself, so this is what the phone will slip into once that bracket's there. That bracket gives you the base, and then you could have magnet ones. I know ProClip sells magnet ones. They sell the little grabby arm ones. They sell the ones for that Apple magnet or whatever, that Apple pad. I went old school. I like this clip-in one. It's super reliable. Works with a ton of phone cases because it is adjustable. So I know it'll work with my phone and whatever phone that my wife decides to put in the phone holder. Alright, so we got the camera situated. Let's get everything installed here. So it is a very tight fit right here. So you're going to use this a little bit just to kind of open up the gap. But basically what the instructions say is start on this side. So use this edge to get the clip started. And then ultimately everything will pop into place. So it might take a little bit of monkeying around. And then I'll use this guy to basically open up the clip a little bit, or open up that gap a little bit. So then we get the rest of the clip in there. Okay, so the best way to do that is take your little piece here and pull up on the edge and start with the left edge. The trim is tight, but once you get enough leverage and pop the corner of the ProClip mount in there, it'll fit there nicely. Then the next thing we want to do, let me move the camera just a smidge, is we want to go around the back here and we want to clip this guy into the back of the dash here. So again, what we're going to do is just use this guy, open that up just a smidge, pushes back in there, and looks like it already clipped into place. So now that everything is situated in there, we could go ahead and mount our phone holder to there. So again, just a quick review. We started on the left side here. I originally said here, but it's easier to work on the left side. Pop that in there, and then the rest of the clip slips right in there nicely on the front, or I guess that front edge. It is a super tight seam, so the seam is really tight there. But again, once you get a little bit in there, then you're good to go. And then you want to use your little gap opener, open up the back so that the clip itself could then have enough room to slip between the plastic behind the radio and the rubber of the dash. So now that we got that on there, let's get a screwdriver and we can go ahead and install the phone bracket. All right, so now that we got our bracket in there, super solid, we're gonna go ahead and install the actual phone holder itself. So the phone holder is two pieces. One, it's that little clamshell up front. That's where your phone's gonna slip into, and then it's the rear bracket, which allows you to, first of all, attach it to this guy, but second of all, angle the phone holder however you want. And that's what is the spacer basically between the phone holder and the bracket. So 2 Phillips head screwdrivers will remove this guy from the phone holder. That way we could take the supplied hardware. So we got 4 screws here and attach it to these 4 pre-drilled holes. So once we get these guys installed in there, then we can go ahead and reattach the clamshell. I'll show you how to adjust it for your phone case, and then we're done. So let's do it. All right, so once you remove the actual phone holder from that little bracket, this is what the bracket looks like. You can go ahead and loosen up that Phillips head screw so you could adjust this guy and get him out of the way so you have access to the 4 mounting holes. Then it is up to you where you want to mount it. You got 4 holes on the bottom like that, and then 4 holes up on top. So you can mount it on the bottom or top. Just to move that phone holder away from the volume knob, I'm going to go ahead and use the top here. Again, you could use whatever one works for your application. So let me go ahead and get the 4 screws that came in the kit, so they're right down there, and drill those into this bracket here, and then we'll get the actual phone holder reinstalled, just 2 screws, and then, like I said, I'll show you how to readjust things. All right, so we have that base mounted, 4 screws right through the ProClip bracket, gives you your base for your phone holder, and then we just need to get those 2 screws and reattach this guy right there, and that's where our ProClip mount will end. And then ultimately this pivots, there's like a ball and socket that this whole thing pivots on. So once we get a phone in there, we can kind of adjust it to where she wants it, and then we're done. So let's do it. All right, now that we have the phone holder attached to the actual mount itself, before you tighten these 2 top screws, make sure you adjust the phone holder where you need it. So these screws not only attach the phone holder itself to that little ball and socket mount that allows it to pivot, but they also control how wide it is. So you slide these little arms in and out to accommodate your phone and whatever phone case you have. Once you got it to an area that you need it or that you want it at, then you go ahead and tighten these guys down. But basically what you do is just throw a phone in here, squeeze these as tight as you can, then tighten these down, and then you're good. So that is how you install the phone clip in the 2019 and newer Nissan Altimas. This is using the ProClip phone holder for the iPhone 12 and up with a thinner phone case. So go ahead, I will leave the link to these guys in the description below. Click on the link and let me know what you think. But with that said, thank you very much for watching. Bye.